not taking personal readings at this time. Please do not get scammed by people posing in the comment section as me. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to my channel, Roseology. So today's pick a card is what you can expect in the month of June 2021. This is actually going to be a timeless reading. I'm going to start making these monthly predictions and these monthly horoscope videos timeless readings for you guys. So whenever you do come across this reading, it will be meant for you. Now I'm looking into the month of June week to week with 4 tarot cards per pile. So the first 2 tarot cards will show me the first 2 weeks of June, and the last 2 tarot cards will be showing me the final 2 weeks of June to get a really in-depth look at the energetic forecast of the month for you. Now this is a forecast, so nothing is set in stone. I also just posted a new pick a card to the Patreon site where I ask your guides what struggles are you coming out of and what fortunes are you coming into after the super flower blood moon that we just had May 26th. So if you want to check that reading out, as well as gain early access to YouTube videos and hours upon hours of content where we are discussing tarot, astrology, esoteric language, divination, and a lot more, then you can click the link to the Patreon in the description to check out the different tiers that are available on my Patreon site. Now, let me also say that astrologically, we have a lot happening this month. We've got Pluto going retrograde. Well, it's already been retrograde. It's since April 27th in the sign of Capricorn. We have Saturn going retrograde. Well, it went retrograde a few days ago, May 23rd, in the sign of Aquarius. We have Mercury preparing to go retrograde in a couple of days, May 30th, in the sign of Gemini. Jupiter will be going retrograde around June 21st in the sign of Pisces, moving back into the sign of Aquarius. And then we'll have a few days later, June 26th, Neptune going retrograde in the sign of Pisces. So by the end of June, we'll have Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto, and Neptune all retrograde. So be prepared for that. We'll talk about that a little later on. We'll talk about that a lot more in depth on the Patreon site, and I'll be briefly discussing it here on YouTube. So let's just get into the disclaimers and the meditation. So obviously this is a general reading, meaning that it will resonate with who it is meant to resonate with. Tarot does not dictate or control your life. If you hear something that you do not like and think that you are just doomed to that reality, then you are not using my readings correctly. My readings are for confirmation and not answers, because only you have the answers. So realize that at the end of the day, your free will and what you do with it determines your outcomes, not a pick a card reading on YouTube. Be responsible, accountable, and use this as a guide to help decipher the messages your spiritual team has been trying to send you all along. So these cards are not meant to tell you anything that your higher self has not already tried to tell you. Do not use these readings for answers. Use my readings for confirmation to help validate what your intuition has been trying to tell you all along. So either it will work or it won't. Don't force any of these messages to resonate if they don't. Throw it away if it doesn't, and keep moving on with your life. Now, for those of you that want to participate in this meditation, let me just say, like I always do, that this is a general reading for the collective. So in order for this reading to resonate with you, you need to be synced into the energy of this reading. To help you do that and to help you select a pile with your third eye, not your physical ones, I'm going to be offering a 60-second meditation. 30 seconds into that meditation, I'll be placing crystals for my clairvoyants that like to pick piles with objects on them. And after the clairvoyant pile selection, there will be a clairaudient selection where I play a different tone for each pile, and you can select a pile based off of which tone resonates with you the most. If you're drawn to another pile, that's because there's another message for you in that pile. So if you are ready, get into a relaxed position, become aware of your entire body, starting with your feet, and work that awareness up in sections from the feet to the head. Then take a deep breath in through your nose for around 5 seconds, hold that breath for 3 seconds, and then exhale for 6 to 7 seconds. Then ask your guides, spirit, ancestors, the universe, or all of them to connect you to your higher self so you can receive confirmation that your spiritual team has been trying to send you. So this is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. And we'll start that meditation right now. On pile number 1, we have the crystal stromatolite. On pile 2, we have clear quartz. On pile 3, we have titanium. On pile 4, we have hemimorphite. All right, hopefully that meditation was enough time for you to pick a pile and tap into your own psychic awareness. I want to take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, and beautiful spirit for these messages. Now let's see what your June 2021 has in store for you, or whichever month you're watching this in, and I will meet you over at your pile. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. So we are going to be starting off with some oracle cards, and I'm going to shuffle very quickly, and then we are going to get to your tarot cards before shuffling some additional oracle cards on camera, just to see what your June 2021 has in store for you. Now, this is timeless no matter when you're saying it. So I don't even know what oracle cards I want to start off with. I'm just like, hit the record button and don't even have this figured out. Okay, so I'm going to start with some oracle cards just to kind of see what energy you're moving into June with. I hope you guys have had a beautiful May and a great full moon in Sagittarius that we just had with the lunar eclipse. Now we're preparing for a solar eclipse with this new moon in Gemini. So many things happening this month. We also have, you guys, we're currently already in Pluto retrograde. We're already in Saturn retrograde. And in a couple of more days here, we'll be moving into Mercury retrograde in the sign of Gemini. And then around the 3rd week of June, we will be having Jupiter stationed retrograde, and as well as Neptune stationing retrograde in the sign of Pisces. So right now, Pluto and Saturn are retrograde. Mercury is about to go retrograde, and by the end of June, it'll be Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, and Neptune that are all retrograde. But if you check the description, I have all that written down below in case you're interested in that. Okay, so we have here pile 1, believe in the impossible. Believe in the impossible. Underneath the deck, we have emotions are running high, supermoon. So very clearly with this believe in the impossible blue moon card, this is something rare. You know how they say blue moons are extremely rare. So this is, so June for my pile ones, there's going to be some sort of rare occurrence that happens. Very easy to see. Believe in the impossible is saying that you are working with a month where a lot of strange things may happen, where a lot of things out of the ordinary may happen, things that you kind of can't make sense of. But this is the month for something very rare, very miraculous to happen to my pile one, something that you clearly just don't see. Oh, you don't see coming. Okay. There's a few cards. These ones were flipped face up. It says true feelings are masked. Utilize logic, reason, and common sense. But I'm going to keep shuffling because it was like 3 or 4 cards that fell out. And I don't use multiple cards that fall out. It's just how I shuffle. Okay, so we also have here honor and good luck. The Griffin. So again, you have another card here talking about good luck as well as honor. So there could be some sort of even recognition that comes through. There's some sort of a rare occurrence. You know, you guys may get the attention of someone. You could win the lottery. This is like some weird, rare energy that my pile ones are working with in the month of June. So I would encourage you guys to take advantage of that. And then we have here the Caduceus, and it says you will receive news from afar. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I was just kind of talking about. You guys may get some sort of, you may get someone's attention and someone reaches out to you, and it says here emotions are at their peak. Wait, we also had, yeah, underneath this deck over here for you, emotions are running high, supermoon. Okay, so this is, wow. All right, pile one. So you've got some really exciting things happening in the month of June, but they may cause a little bit of anxiety because it just seems so like, is this safe? Can I trust this? Because you may end up in a situation or with an opportunity where it's like you don't know anyone else has ever ended up with this opportunity before. You may not know how to handle it. You might not know what to do. You know, you may be hesitant if it is some sort of an opportunity, something like that. You may be a little bit hesitant to take up that opportunity because it's something that, like I said, this is very rare energy. This doesn't happen all the time to every single person. This is something that's very unique. It's a very uniquely crafted opportunity just solely for my pile ones in the month of June 2021. Like I said, this is a timeless reading. So whenever you are seeing this, that is the energy that your month is working with. But since I'm filming this for June 2021, if you're watching this before or during June, just know you're working with some very rare energy, okay, whenever it is that you do see this. So let's just get started with your tarot cards because now I'm really excited to see what they have to say. And so what I did was I divided up each of the piles into the 4 weeks of June. And so these 2 cards right here will be showing me the first couple of weeks of June, and these 2 cards over here will be showing me the last 2 weeks of June. So let's get started. Let's see. We have here, okay. First card that we have here is Judgment in reverse. All right. And then the next card that we have is the Three of Swords. Okay. Yeah, so this is kind of what I was talking about. You feeling a little like, I don't really know what to do with this situation. I don't really know what to do with the information that I have. I don't really know what to do with this opportunity that I just received. I don't really know what to do with this very strange, rare occurrence happening in my life. As you can see, we have Judgment here in reverse. So this is kind of like a little bit of it's just a very strange, odd situation. You know, the Judgment card, as you can see, is this archangel blowing a trumpet, and these souls are coming out of their grave, or these people are standing back up out of their grave. And so this is something that's like, it's impossible. It doesn't happen. You know what I mean? That's the energy that you guys are working with. And it may cause a little bit of anxiety for you. This Three of Swords for me is anxiety for you, pile one. That's what I'm picking up here. So with Judgment in reverse here, it looks like the first half of June will be you over analyzing something, possibly something that you said, possibly something that you did, where you keep replaying it over and over, wondering if you did the right thing, said the right thing, if you handled it the right way. You may want to try to backtrack on something you said or did, as well as you could be in the mood to rehash something that's been buried for some time with this Three of Swords right here as well. So either way that this manifests, Judgment in reverse is a reversal of an action or decision. So the energy first half of June for you may be you not feeling very sure of yourself, reacting or making choices in the moment, but then feeling uneasy about them afterwards. So I want to say for sure, pile one, be cautious about making any sort of big leaps or moves or decisions in the first half of June, because with this energy here, it's easy to second guess yourself and wonder if you made the right decision and kind of work yourself up into a frenzy. So especially if you receive some sort of really strange news or opportunity or something that happens like that in the first half of June, take a little bit of time to think about it if you can, just to sort of get your energy together and really work on grounding in the month of June so you don't feel so, I mean, honestly, what I'm picking up here energetically is like you guys can work on grounding till the cows come home and your face turns blue, but this is going to throw you off. With this kind of energy right here, it's like, how the hell did this happen? It's going to throw you off a little bit. You know, and it doesn't feel like a bad thing. It just feels like, okay, like it just feels more so like it says right here, honor and good luck. This is, and you will receive news from afar. So this is, you know, like good news is something good that's happening, but I'm thinking that it's the way that it happens because it's so unexpected that you don't really know how to respond, react, or how to take it. Some of you may even think that it's like a joke. I don't know what this could be because this is a general reading, but it just seems to be something that at first you have a hard time like acclimating to the fact that this just actually happened. So yeah, you may notice this type of energy present in your social life where you replay conversations that you've had with someone over and over, and it doesn't have to be conversations that you had in June. These could also be old conversations, memories, feelings, experiences that you were conjuring up. You see the trumpet here that this angel is using. This is the action of calling something. So this is the card of resurrection, something from the past that you breathe life back into. And this may be why you second guess yourself in June, because afterwards you may feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done this. Maybe I should have let that go. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't, you know, it's like this feeling of why did I bring that back up could possibly be happening in the first couple of weeks of June with this Three of Swords right here. So in June, pile one, say it with your chest or not at all, because it could cause some unnecessary anxiety if you do not feel confident about how you handle things, especially if this is some sort of conversation with this talking about receiving news right here, and then this Three of Swords with this Judgment in reverse, especially if you are involved in some sort of conversation in the first half of June that maybe feels a little emotional or just a little like intense. It's going to be really important to stand behind exactly what you say and to make sure you mean it. So don't say anything in the moment. Don't say anything if it's a tense conversation. Don't say anything out of anger or out of whatever it may be, guilt, you know, frustration. Don't just say things just to say them, because you may kind of sit with it in the month of June. And like I said, it could just cause a little bit of unnecessary anxiety. So definitely make sure that you are very mindful and present during your conversations, especially in the first half of June, where it's like, do I feel like paying for this afterwards? Like after this conversation, do I feel like paying for this conversation after this conversation is over? Okay, so it could be a couple of things going on. Could be a little bit of tense energy first half of June with this Three of Swords, but all of June for you is working with some very strange, this doesn't happen very often type energy. So just kind of run with that. It's going to be a little bit weird trying to maneuver through that. But the Three of Swords, with this being present here for the first half of your month, this is definitely in response to this Judgment card in reverse. So pile one, I'm starting to see a question form here in your pile as well that's asking, are you sure that you are over it? You know, like I said, if you do end up in some sort of conversation, anything like that, and you're like, you know what, it's fine. Make sure you're not saying that it's fine just to get out of the conversation. Make sure that you're not saying things just because it's uncomfortable. Make sure, like I said, you say it with your chest and you get everything that you need to get off of your chest, but just don't do it in a way where you have to sit with what you said and sit with like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have went that hard. Maybe I shouldn't have said that much. Maybe I shouldn't have, you know, done this or done that. Make sure you're not like And that's kind of hard to do, you know, hindsight is 2020, but just make sure in the moment you're not saying things out of emotion. Very, very important for you guys. So, you know, there could be something that emotionally was lying dormant in your subconscious, and in June you may get triggered by a conversation or a memory even. The Three of Swords is the card of disappointment, so it doesn't mean that something disappointing will happen to you in June. And if you are feeling that way because of the cards, then listen, this tarot reading is not for you, okay? This is not supposed to scare you. This is not meant to scare you. This is just reading energy very simply. Energy is lucid, so you can change it at any point in time if you don't like it or agree with it, because you are not here on this reading to give your power away. Your higher self led you here to take power and more control by preparing you for any energies that you may not be aware of that are circulating around you or lying dormant within you, okay? So it's just like when you hear on the forecast, oh, there's a storm coming today. It doesn't mean that your day gets fucked up. It just means you start preparing for it. You take an umbrella or you stay in the house, right? So same exact thing when you're looking at tarot readings. Nothing should make you feel scared. So the Three of Swords being here is just simply saying there's a possibility that someone says or does something that's triggering, and your response or reaction to it may lead to you feeling disappointed in yourself or in them, depending on the outcome of that conversation. So this is a possible outcome. But if you want a different result, then guess what? Judgment in reverse. Make different choices. Once you make different choices, you are directly influencing the result. So these two cards here in the month of June is trying to tell my pile ones, be careful of ignoring a certain maybe pain or frustration that you may still feel haunted by. This is the Three of Swords. All of the threes in tarot are ruled by the Master Three, which is the Empress from the Major Arcana. So the Three of Swords says to nurture and nourish a part of yourself that still feels wounded because it is lacking maintenance, care, and patience. And why do you think the Four of Swords comes directly after the Three of Swords, where he's resting, rejuvenating, and healing? Because when we get wounded or hurt, like what it's describing here in the Three of Swords, the prescribed medicine is rest and time. Just give yourself and your body the space and opportunity to do what it already knows how to do. And obviously, for those of you on Patreon watching right now, we'll discuss more about the swords over on Patreon on the tarot side. So yeah, you know, you don't need to know how to heal pile one. Just let your body and your spirit take over, and they inherently own the medicine needed to heal you completely. And in June, I want you to treat yourself as kind of touch and go, as a little bit like more fragile than usual, you know, as a little more like sensitive, maybe. I can see here, pile one, that you're the type of person that not only likes to be strong, but you feel like you need to be strong. So don't become codependent with strength. That can be unhealthy, because then you'll put yourself in situations and environments that are directly challenging your ability to heal. Now is not the time to engage with people that trigger you or environments that make you feel on edge and more anxious. Don't put yourself, for example, in the same room or at the same event with someone because you think that you're over them or over what they did. June is not the month for that if you can avoid it. You know, well, at least the first half of June isn't the time of that. So let's see about the second half of June. So we have here, we got the Two of Wands in reverse. And then we have the Six of Cups. Okay. The funny thing too that I'm just realizing is that this symbol right here on this Caduceus card is the symbol of, like, we normally see this on hospitals and doctors' offices and things like that, because it's a symbol for healing. It's a symbol of the double-headed snake. And you also have the Three of Swords here with the Judgment in reverse. So some of you may be a little bit reluctant to get into a certain conversation. Just kind of go off of how you feel. If you feel a little reluctant, then don't do it. Don't do it until you're ready in the month of June, okay? If you feel like you can handle it, if you feel like you are okay, truly be, you know, really, really assess yourself. And if you feel like that you're okay, then I think you will be, because of this kind of healing that keeps sort of coming up in your reading a little bit here. So yeah, we have the Two of Wands in reverse and the Six of Cups. So see, with the Two of Wands, there's a self-realization that you are developing in June, where you see like, oh, that trigger or environment was creating the conditions that made me want to act like this. And the Two of Wands is the card of vision. When it's in reverse, it can act like a retrograde planet that goes into a state of reflection. So Two of Wands is being able to envision or see the self from a completely new standpoint. Pile one, I feel as though you've been really working on trying to change your emotional responses, and you've got your angels and ancestors trying to guide you to make different choices, because we can want different, but until we do different, nothing is going to change. And you don't want to keep looking back and judging yourself. Some of you are trying to find peace with your emotional responses, a way to stop judging yourself as well. And I feel like June is a perfect teacher for you, Pile 1, because it's going to help you see where you can do things differently. And in June, Pile 1, you're learning how to become the cause so you don't become the effect, because you are sick of feeling controlled by your thoughts and your emotions. Some of you may get into some form of regression therapy, even with the Six of Cups right here and this Two of Wands in reverse, maybe like calling back old memories and experiences so you can rewrite them and experience them from a more heightened perspective, from a more distant perspective. And so I'm going to encourage you this Gemini season, which will be in for most of June, to gather information about yourself that's a bit uncomfortable with this Three of Swords right here, or maybe even repressed, because there looks to be a common theme of you attempting to call up repressed emotions and memories, but I see you guys doing it successfully and in a way where you can make a clean break from the painful memories and the painful past. So some of you have been already sort of like really into doing your own research on psychology and the brain, how to rewrite the brain and the mind, how to not allow your thoughts and other feelings to control you. And so if you've been reading articles like that, or looking into information like that, or have been thinking about it and wanting to look back into it, then this is confirmation from your spiritual team to definitely keep going with that. For sure. All right, so let's just see what two goddesses are walking with my Pile 1s in the month of June and what advice they have for you. So the very first one that we have here is Cleo, I believe, and it says past lives, reconnect with your past. Interesting, because I kept talking about you kind of resurrecting something, maybe rehashing something from the past, maybe even using regressional therapy, looking back into the past, reflecting. We are going to have a lot of retrogrades coming up, but it's just very interesting that she came out talking about past lives, reconnecting with your past. So yeah, that does look to be like a common theme for you guys, but it's probably something where, like I said, you guys are really working with this very strange, impossible energy. So that could even mean something like you guys getting a apology from someone in the month of June. This is two cards, so I'm going to keep shuffling. The card that came out was Aphrodite, feminine power. I embrace my sensuality and deepen my inner love. I seek the beauty in everything. Yeah, so this was two cards that came out, so I'm going to keep shuffling. But yeah, this could even be, like I said, you guys are working with impossible energy, so this could be somebody that you never thought would apologize for the bullshit that they did, and then coming back to you in the month of June and being like, you know what, I'm so sorry for the things that I did. And like I said, it's just going to throw you off, where you're just like, I was not expecting to ever hear from you again, or I was not expecting that response. I was not expecting you to take responsibility. I was not expecting this. Maybe this is you feel, oh yeah, and I keep talking about how you guys may get into some sort of a conversation. Yeah, Pile 1, you guys could be dealing with somebody coming back from the past that may have caused a Three of Swords moment for you. And it could be something from like a very long time ago, because this, you will receive news from afar. Something about that word afar, just it keeps taking my brain to like, oh, this is coming, like this is like all the way to the left, like this is something weird. I was not expecting this to happen. Like it's just like somebody reaching out from the grave. Oh, you got Judgment in reverse. Oh, this could be a relationship that you buried a minute ago. This could be a person that you guys like kind of just, you kind of X'd them out of your life a minute ago. That's interesting. I will say myself, if you don't like that type of news, I hear you, because I myself, I don't like old people coming back into my life personally. And then we have here Pele, regeneration, face your shadow. Okay, so it looks like you guys may have, and you know what, for this, because Judgment is the card where it's like, Judgment is that card where it's like people are being given that final chance to see if they can make it into paradise. It's like they already died. They already died the first death, right? They already died the physical death. And then the archangel, blows the trumpet when God gives the cue. And the archangel says, okay, well, let's see which of you souls that have been dead are going to make it into heaven, right? And so it's like this second coming when we're dealing with the Judgment card. And so it's like, for this to be in reverse, This could be someone or something that you have to truly lay to rest. Like you have to truly lay them to bed. You know, like you got to really be like, I was done the first time that I said I was done. If that's how you feel and this person comes back, you might have to just let them know for a second time or a third time or however many times it's been. Underneath the deck here, we have, Kali transformation. I wanted to pull. I actually was looking at that Kali Ma deck that I have right here, and I was like, I kind of feel like I want to get a message from her. But it says here, nothing stays the same. Allow new light to shine on old darkness. Interesting. Okay. So, yeah. This is really funny, you guys. Let's get some final advice for your month. It just looks like something, just looks like one of the main themes could definitely be somebody coming back. Then we have here moonlight. Pause for a moment. Someone or something is not unveiling their entirety. Okay. It looks like somebody wants to... It looks like someone is not unveiling their entirety. I keep shuffling. There's a couple cards. And then it says here, face your shadow. And the shadow is us. It's us. It's just a part of us that we don't acknowledge. We do not acknowledge the shadow. So this could be some sort of a conversation coming out where the truth is also kind of exposed. But I just feel like there's a theme of the past here with my pile ones in the month of June. Like I said, we are going into all these retrogrades. It's kind of like retrograde season. So yeah, there could just be somebody from your past is just feeling like they want to get things straight. And then we have here mermaid. Embrace change, transformation, and adaptability. We also have another card that said transformation. Oh yeah, underneath the deck over here with Kali transformation. So you know what? With you guys, what I'm actually going to do... And then underneath the deck we have here, look, we've got rainbow. A miracle or epiphany is in the forecast. Yeah, that's that rare energy kind of coming through. That's that blue moon, rare, impossible type energy coming through in the month of June for my pile one. So you guys are working with miraculous, as I said earlier, that was one of the first things that I said in your readings, that you guys are working with miraculous type, very rare energy. So if there is something that you want to happen in your life that seems like it's impossible, first of all, believe in the impossible, because you're working with impossible type energy where it's like you can turn the impossible into the possible very easily. So if there is something that you really do want, focus on it in the month of June. Really pour all of your energy into it and try to not get too distracted by whatever this may be that's trying to be resurrected from the past. Because with this type of energy that you're working with, I just don't feel like the past is meant for very many of my pile ones. Now, some of you guys may have been asking for closure. Some of you guys may have been asking for like a chance to find closure with someone. Maybe like for you to apologize to someone, or for someone to apologize to you and see their wrongs and see the things that they did in the relationship. And if that's the case, this could definitely manifest in the month of June for you guys. All right, you guys, so let's get some final messages. So I'm going to pull one card from here, and then I'm going to actually pull one card from this Kali Ma deck, because the fact that I saw her and I was like, something was telling me to get her cards out. So yeah, I'm going to shuffle one of her cards just for you guys, just for your pile. So let's see. Let's get one message here. Look at that. Completion. And then remember how I was talking about the double-headed snake? So we got completion. So we do have some sort of closure coming to you guys. These two cards also flipped over, but I think it was because that card was trying to be seen. Underneath the deck for you, we have water in reverse. I thought we had pulled water somewhere else too. Maybe I just saw that. Okay. So let me grab the book really quickly. Give me a second. So this card says here, all things have a beginning, a middle, and an end. This is the nature of life, the seed, the flower, and the fruit, and of all human relationships. Completion suggests the fullness of the moment and the need to transform an old form into a new one. That's why the snake came up. I couldn't take my eyes off of this snake symbol here. So yeah, so you guys are kind of going through a moment of healing where it's like you're going to get some closure in the month of June. Most of my pile ones, I feel very confident in saying most of my pile ones are going to get some form of closure in the month of June, either by this person reaching out or maybe you reaching out to them, some sort of a conversation, or you just sort of kind of deciding to bury it for good. And then it says here, because you pull this upright, I'm going to read the upright. So it says here, you have finished a cycle and there is no more growth or benefit from hanging on to the old. In regard to relationships, it is time to honor what has been and find a new form for the future. Wow. See, okay, that was also the advice that I kind of got for you guys too, is like, I kind of feel like you guys I feel like you should move on. But I never want my readings to kind of influence what you think you should do in your own life. But it's just what I'm feeling here. But anyways, yeah, it says, it is time to honor what has been and find a new form for the future. In your ventures, it is time to reap your harvest. Completion is a time for celebration. It is the end of summer when the fruit is ripe. I love that. Okay. And let me also get one card just for my pile ones from the Kali Ma deck, because I just feel like she has something to say. So give me a second. Okay, let's see what Kali Ma has to say to my pile ones for the month of June 2021. Let's see. Okay. Bavatarini, I believe. I think I'm saying that right. I don't know though, you guys, so don't quote me. But this is a card underneath the deck. It's Kali Kalmasa Nasini. Okay. Ooh. Oh, these look like two very different Kali Ma's, don't they? Two very different ones. I'm going to read both of these paragraphs, so give me a second. Okay, and it says here, the tantric priestess of karmic release manifests with the capacity to integrate higher divine energy into even the most stubborn patterning that has so far resisted healing. Oh, wow. And it keeps coming up healing again, over and over and over again. Okay, so it says, yeah, when momentum is building and you don't know how to stop fueling the fire or reverse the damage, she appears. Okay, that's why this is what she had to say to you guys. Her presence indicates that this is a powerful time for spiritual work and healing practices. She will support the work and much growth can come from it, particularly at this time. No matter how wild they may seem, the storms of your life shall be gentled. You shall emerge unharmed. Okay, I feel like this just makes so much sense now that I'm reading her messages to you. And it says here about this card, it says she devours darkness with her endless hunger for light, peace, and redemption. She reaches the deepest places, the darkest spaces, relentless in her pursuit of the lost and despairing. No soul shall ever be forgotten, abandoned, or betrayed by her. Those that believe in their own guilt, their sin, their shame, evoke her mighty tenderness, and she feasts upon the darkness that threatens to consume them, alleviating the weight of their suffering, allowing their hearts to become light and free. That's beautiful. So she's also working on healing you guys, helping you to heal, as well as too, she's working on actually consuming the darkness that's in your life. This Three of Swords energy, this Judgment in reverse energy, the Six of Cups energy, which is even coming up as like maybe a memory or something maybe a little bit dense or heavy that happened in the past. We have here Pele, face your shadow, and past lives, reconnect with your past right here. And so this is, oh yeah, and then someone or something is not unveiling their entirety. So for sure, she is coming to literally consume the darkness in your life so that there's a lot more illumination and clarity. And so that you know what's going on, you can be more aware. And when we're more aware, we're more able to heal. But like I said, your body and your being and your spirit already knows what to do. Just trust in that. You guys definitely have Kali Ma on your side for her own messages to coincide with this message here. The month of June, you've got major support backing you guys, as well as the beautiful goddess Pele. I cannot forget about her. I work with her a little bit, as well as Cleo. So thank you guys so very much, Pile 1, for tuning in. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher selves, amazing spirit for these messages. Hopefully you all come back to visit sometime soon. But until next time, please stay safe, healthy, blessed. Have a beautiful, beautiful June and retrograde season, and keep conquering the world. Bye, you guys. Pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. So we are starting off with some oracle cards here. Then we're going to get to your tarot cards. These first two cards to the left will be showing me your first half of the month of June. The second two cards over here to the right will be showing me the final 2 weeks of June. Then I'm also going to be pulling some additional oracle cards on camera after we check out the tarot cards. So let's get started to see what June 2021 has in store for you. Even though this is a timeless reading, so whenever you're seeing this, will be right for you. And this can be energies that you, this will be energies that you can expect no matter which month you see this. We are already currently in Pluto retrograde, as well as Saturn retrograde. In a couple of days from now, Mercury will be officially stationing retrograde. Then towards the third week of June, Jupiter will have gone retrograde. And then Neptune, a few days after, will be following Jupiter and going retrograde. So, yeah, we're going to have a lot going on in the month of June. A lot of retrogrades. It's kind of retrograde season. So we have here the very first card that came out for you is the energy is gaining momentum. So even though we are heading into a retrograde season where retrograde usually kind of reflects things slowing down, us reflecting a little bit more. It's almost as though a part of us goes into some sort of like energetic hibernation, I guess you could say. But for my pile twos, it actually looks like this retrograde is going to be speeding things up in your life. And one way that you can know kind of for sure that this happens is if you were someone that was born with quite a few retrogrades in your natal chart. So you may have had the bigger planets like Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, or Pluto retrograde at the time when you were born, because we will have Neptune, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto. All four of these planets will be retrograde by the end of June. And so if you were born with your planets in retrograde, any of the planets, but especially those ones, Mercury, Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto, or Neptune in retrograde, then yeah, this could be a time where things kind of feel normal to you or feel like they're speeding up almost, because that's kind of how it works, which is really funny. The card that we have under the deck here, the card that we have underneath the deck here is confidence is your key to success. New moon in Leo. Okay. Some of you may even have a Leo moon or some dominant Leo placements. Let me also get where are my cards? Oh, so yeah, so for you guys, something may be picking up here, and it's really funny because I actually know somebody that was born with their Mercury in retrograde, and so every time Mercury goes retrograde, they have like the best time. It's like they're like finally my brain feels like it's working normally, and they say this every time Mercury goes retrograde, and it's so funny. So yeah. Let's see. Let's get some other cards just to kind of see the energy that you're moving into in the month of June. But it looks like you are kind of moving into June, and that June will have some pretty decent paced energy for you. You guys may be having a lot going on. You may be moving right now, getting married, having a baby. Anything could be happening. Okay, so we have here, yeah, see what I was just talking about? Winds of change. Your surroundings will undergo transition. It's exactly what I was just talking about, you guys. I was talking about how some of you guys may be moving, having a baby, getting married, starting a new job. And then this card also fell like underneath my desk here, and it says locked doors can now be opened. See? Okay, yeah, so things are just picking up for you guys in the month of June here for my pile twos. Underneath the deck we have the oracle, seek wisdom and guidance from elders. So go to your altar this month if you feel like maybe things are a little overwhelming or even underwhelming, like if that whatever it is that's going on in the month of June, make sure that you're going to your altar, that you're talking to your ancestors and your guides, and maybe even if you have like older role models in your life, like your grandparents, your parents themselves, or just older people in general that seem to have like a lot more wisdom when it comes to life and things like that. Make sure that you're leaning on that older wisdom in the month of June. But yeah, this is just, the cards are just confirming what I've been picking up anyway. So I'm just going to jump into your tarot cards because yeah. Okay. So definitely things are happening in the month of June for my pile twos. Nothing's going to be slowing down for you, even despite this being retrograde season. So let's get started. Very first card that we have, look at that, Queen of Wands. Didn't we pull a moon and Leo? Yeah, underneath the deck. Confidence is key to your success. New moon in Leo. And we have here the Queen of Wands. I always imagine that the Queen of Wands had like a Leo moon in her chart, just because she just has that energy to me. So you know what? I'm actually going to just start with the Queen of Wands. I kind of just want to focus on her alone. And then I'm going to pull this to get a better look of your first 2 weeks. So as well as with this Queen of Wands, I don't know why pile 2, but I kind of feel like this Queen of Wands is almost like two alphas asserting themselves. It's like there's two alphas in the same territory. And we know that never works. And I don't know why I'm getting that feeling. An example of this, though, would be like maybe like your father-in-law or your mother-in-law coming into town and having all these unwarranted opinions. It's like someone doesn't know their lane. You know what I mean? Like this could be a manager, maybe a coworker, family member, friend, boss, even your partner, whomever, and whatever this is. This Queen of Wands, the second I turned the card over, it was like she kind of became very four-dimensional. It's like she almost jumped out of the card, and she's already a very expressive energy. But that was her saying, like, I'm the Queen of Wands. I'm the only Queen of Wands. So the first week of June, pile 2, you may feel very, some of you guys may be a Sagittarius, even have some dominant Sagittarius energy in your chart, maybe even 9th house energy. Jupiter may be in your first house. Yeah, Jupiter may be in your first house, or it may be your chart ruler. It may conjunct your sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, North Node. Because we just had the super flower blood moon eclipse on May 26th, I actually uploaded a reading for that blood moon eclipse on my Patreon, and the link to the Patreon is down below, so you can see the different tiers that are available. You may have some dominant Sagittarius energy, because with that super flower blood moon eclipse on May 26th, if you have a lot of Sagittarius energy, then that new moon or that full moon is still fueling you by the first couple of weeks of June. Some of you have business ideas and plans or goals that you are moving forward with in the first couple of weeks of June, or you are wanting to take a new direction. Many of you guys are just ready to take ownership of your life with this Queen of Wands right here, which is really beautiful. And let me tell you, you've got the Queen of Wands on your side. This energy in you is very assertive and ready, and she is not afraid of anything. Whether you are a man or a woman, she is excited to get going. Like I said, whether you are man, woman, doesn't matter how you identify. Every single one of the 72 cards in tarot is literally a different aspect of the human design. So every single card represents a different aspect of every human being. And so the Queen of Wands is something that lives within everyone. The King of Wands is someone that lives within everyone, you know, so this is just an energy. It's just a frequency. But for the month of June, you guys are going to be on the same frequency as the Queen of Wands. And as you can see, she has this little black cat right here seated in front of her, and it's actually her pet. So it's kind of like she is taking her shadow along as her pet. But what I'm actually getting from this is like something very powerful, where it's like you're walking very uniformed. Your whole being feels like it's very uniformed in the month of June. So I'm just kind of feeling like my pile 2s, like you guys are the key. There's locked doors that are now opening for you because you guys are very uniformed, and it's like you just really know what you want, and you're just sort of pushing forward. Winds of Change card right here. The energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. Yeah, there's something definitely building up. Let's see the next card. Look at the neck. Look at this. We got the Four of Wands. Yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. I knew it. You guys are in the process of creating a brand new life. If it's not a new life or a routine or a lifestyle, then this is you guys moving forward with the vision. When we deal with the number 4, it is all about structure, organization, efficiency, and integrity. When you combine the number 4 with the suit of wands, which is the suit of vision, then this is a vision coming to form. This is you giving this vision a structure, so it doesn't just live within your mind as a dream or a plan or an imagination, but it starts to come to fruition. Things are about to get very serious for you, pile 2. Things are about to get very serious for you. They're about to start, it's almost like your plans are getting rooted in reality. Your vision is starting to get rooted in reality. And it's starting to manifest as something more physical. So this is opportunities coming in. This is money flowing in, but in a stable way with this 4 right here. This is you starting to stabilize the dream or the vision. So naturally, the more stable you are, the more opportunities that you draw in and manifest, the more that you attract towards you, because people and opportunities are extremely attracted to stability. Stability is sexy when it comes to opportunities and people, because it can support them. And the more that you can support, the more that you attract. So this is very beautiful news, pile 2. This Queen of Wands over here, I believe she's trying to tell my pile 2s to make sure that you defend your territory, defend your vision, your goals, and your projects, because they need boundaries in order to thrive the way that they are. So I think that she wants you to be a little bit more anal about who's involved with what and what opportunities that you take as well. I don't know why, but someone here feels like a feminine energy that keeps... Someone here feels like a feminine energy that keeps saying, like, start charging more. Like you're not charging enough for something. This could be a job or a salary maybe that they want you to negotiate for more pay. They don't want you to settle at all. Take their heads off, pile 2. I don't know what sort of savage that you have in your spiritual team, but there is an energy in your spiritual team, pile 2, that is like, take their heads off. If they can't afford you, then fuck them. I don't know who this is, but they're just like, if they can't afford you, then they don't deserve you. I'm feeling like that's just more of a personal message for you guys. So I'm gonna let that stay there. It's pretty funny. Some of you guys have some funny ass guides. Like I laugh my ass off sometimes during these readings because of what your guides are saying. And they talk like people, you know, it's like, they're not talking in some sort of like esotericness. Like it's very like, nah, you ain't charging enough. Like, so, you know, like get that bag. Okay, let's move on here to the next 2 cards. So we've got the Moon. Okay, so yeah, that was feminine energy that I was feeling. As well as too, that this is just confirmation again that moon, that full moon that we just had in Sagittarius at the end of May is still kind of present here in your energy moving into the next 2 weeks of June. And then look, pile 2, look. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. The key, locked doors can now be open. I told you guys that you were the key. And look, we got the Magician for you. I knew you guys were manifesting. You've got the Moon here as well. So there is some sort of feminine energy around you. And she is very aggressive, but not in a bad way. She's not aggressive towards you. She's aggressive for you. She's very protective over you. Very, she's like your defense system, you know? She's like your first line of defense. The Moon pointing towards the Magician here is kind of telling me, or the Moon coming before the Magician here, it's telling me that you feel like you don't know how to properly maybe handle a situation. For example, let's say that you started your own business selling products, but you don't know what the appropriate amount to charge because you're using like high quality ingredients to make your stuff. That's kind of like the feeling that I'm getting, is like you're trying to step more into like this executive type role maybe, where you are in charge and you are ready to be in charge. The only thing is there's so much that you don't know because you haven't gone through it yet. There's so many things that you are seeing, hearing, learning, and experiencing for the first time, and it makes you feel a little anxious with this Moon card right here about, well, how do I handle this? Well, what do I do? How much do I charge? How do I set up this website? How do I build this website? I didn't know I had to factor in sales tax. I didn't know I needed a license. You know, these are examples that I'm just using, but it's like there's so much that you've been learning for the first time. And the Magician here, I keep hearing say, one step at a time. And we actually just spoke about the Magician a couple of weeks ago on Patreon, and how the Magician doesn't manifest everything at once, but things develop over time. The Magician manifests what he wants through mediums and resources. Then it is up to the Magician and his willpower. And you've got a lot of cards here talking about willpower. You've got the Magician. You've got the Queen of Wands. You've got the Four of Wands. You've got the key. Locked doors can now be opened. The energy is gaining momentum. Waxing moon. You've got a lot of assertive energy here, right? And you've got a lot of energy here that has a huge abundance of willpower. And so, you know, it's up to the magician and his willpower to assemble what he's been asking for. So the magician is carrying you through each step of the way in June. And that is why he is pictured with 4 different, as you can see, 4 different tools right here. And it's not that he, you know, if he's saying, I want to manifest food, that's not food. If he's saying, I want to manifest a home, that's not a home. If he's saying, I want to manifest a job, that's not a job. He is manifesting the tools that he needs to make food. He's manifesting the tools that he needs to get the job. He's manifesting the tools that he needs to create a home. But it's not that it's just appearing out of thin air. The magician has to have enough focus, intent, and concentration in order to channel his energy so that it manifests as these tools. But then he also has to have enough willpower and motivation to carry him through when it comes time to assemble these tools, to assemble the things that he has manifested. So there is something here that is starting to come together in June for you. Like I said, it's like your vision is starting to get anchored into the real world, and it's starting to come together. Things are slowly starting to come together, and you're seeing that in the month of June, which is really exciting. So the magician is carrying you through each step of the way in June and is saying, don't worry about it. And I also see someone coming towards you in the magician card here with a lot of information that is able to point you in the right direction. And it looks like a masculine. It could be a woman with masculine type energy, but I feel like it's a male. But spirit is very lucid, so it's hard to be sure. I interpret it as a man, but it's a person that's coming towards my pile of 2s, and it's someone that you can trust that helps you figure out everything that you've been trying to handle on your own. So this is help being manifested. And did some of you guys manifest help recently? Maybe like you wrote intentions, or maybe prayed or asked your spiritual team or the universe for an assistant or a manager, maybe an attorney, whoever this is. They're going to help you get to where you're trying to go, not just in June, but for the foreseeable future to come. And they'll help you manage in the areas where you don't know the ins and outs of certain parts of an industry or of a business or whatever it may be. So you can focus on being the creative or the artist or the visionary, because you have these cards here talking about vision. You know, and you've got the moon card here, which represents creativity. It represents feminine energy. So this is, I feel like you're an artist, you're like a creative, and you're sort of pulling all these tools, these inner tools together with this magician card right here. And you're starting to assemble the future that you want to see. You're starting to assemble the life that you want to see. And you're really kind of pushing ahead with that in the month of June. The speed is picking up here. And this is huge help coming to you to help balance things. And maybe you're meeting them in June. Some of you may have met this person already. Others of you may be meeting this person in June. You may be meeting this help in June. And for some of you, June is meant to be walked alone for now on Spirit's orders for whatever reason, but it'll vary for everyone because each of you are at different places in your own respective journeys, right? So, which means that this help will be arriving at different times for each of you. So, but you guys are getting something set up in the month of June, and it's about to start pulling in a lot of opportunities. I'm really loving this. Another thing that I'm seeing here is that this moon card right here is very feminine energy. The moon represents feminine energy. You know, the night where things are wild and chaotic, because the essence of creation is chaos. And so you're dealing with like a lot of feminine energy here. You're pulling from a lot of feminine energy, but I'm seeing you guys' sacral chakra really like opened up in the month of June, almost like a flower. I'm like literally seeing an image of an orange flower around your navel area that is like completely bloomed. It's completely opened. Right now, you guys have seriously opened some sort of like it's like you guys have opened some sort of part of your energy that is really pulling in right now. And we have the magician that came right after the moon. So this is telling me that you guys are balanced in the month of June between your feminine receptive energy and your masculine assertive energy, which is really, really good, because a lot of people will say in order to manifest, you need to get into your feminine energy. In order to manifest, you need to get into your masculine energy. I've always found that the quickest and the easiest way to do it is to merge both energies together, because the feminine receives and the masculine knows how to sort of concentrate his energy so that he receives exactly what it is that he wants. But when you have both of these working together, you just manifest like a dream. It's so easy. It's just so easy to manifest. Let's see which 2 goddesses are working with my pile 2s in the month of June. Okay, this is 2 cards here, so I'm gonna keep shuffling. First one that we have here though is Mami Wati, and it says adaptability. And it says here, spend time near water, admire its strength, tranquility, and intensity. Acknowledge these qualities within yourself. This is interesting, having this moon card right here, as well as too, if you guys just recently saw the pick a card that I just posted to Patreon, you may have picked that pile where she came up. She came up in that pile. And if you did pick that pile and you're having a hard time remembering the messages there, maybe go back and look at it when you have some free time, because there may be some sort of messages kind of going together between those two readings. And then we have here Gaia grounding, and it says reconnect to the earth mother, soak in the beauty of nature. I love how like the moon's coming through, Mother Gaia's coming through. A lot of feminine energy, Queen of Wands over here. But like I said, you guys are extremely balanced in your feminine and masculine energy with this Magician card right here as well. And this Four of Wands. Four is the number of structure. You guys are very, very stable right now. Look at what we have underneath the deck. Oshun. If you guys saw that pick a card that I just posted yesterday to Patreon, and it was the pick a card for the full moon that we just had, May 26th, the eclipse. But it's actually, the pick a card is called Good News. What struggles are you coming out of, and what fortune are you walking into? If you pick that pile, you're going to know which pile I'm talking about. If you picked it, both of these goddesses came up in that same pile. So if you came from that pile and you intuitively selected this one, yeah, this is just all confirmation. And it says here, Oshun, cleanse, protect your energy. And that's funny, because wasn't I talking about in the Queen of Wands how she wants you to be a little bit more protective over what you're trying to build right now. And then we have here underneath the deck, protect your energy with Oshun. I love when synchronicities like that happen. Okay, let's see. Let's get some advice for my pile twos for the month of June. This is 2 cards. Let me keep shuffling. Okay, so this one wanted to be seen because it flipped over while I was shuffling, but it says here, mangroves, get grounded, extend your roots, and gain stability. Well, don't we all also, oh yeah, we got grounding over here. Okay, so yeah, so this one, I'm going to keep this one out for you. Let me get one more. So, and then we also have the Four of Wands, a lot of stability. Then we have here, trust your instincts, the starfish. We have the moon down here. The moon is the card of instincts. It's the card of premonition, where you can feel something, you can sense something. You just can't necessarily see it. And so it can cause a little bit of anxiety because it's like, I can feel it, I can sense it, I just can't see it. That's kind of what we deal with the moon card. So it is the card of instincts. You know, the moon represents the soul and instincts, things of that nature. The sort of tools that we already inherited when we were born. When we came into this body and came into this being, there were just certain skills and tools that we inherited. And so that's what the moon can also represent. So this is all about trusting your instincts in the month of June, which I feel like you guys are already doing. And like I said, you guys may have some planets that were retrograde in your natal chart. And so this is going to feel very natural for you. So while this may have been, you know what, while this moon card may have been like anxiety, it may have translated as anxiety for a different pile or someone else. For you, it's like, this is right up your alleyway. This is not going to feel anxious for you. I'm not picking up any feelings of anxiety at all for my pile twos. It's odd. It's like this kind of energy works for you guys. Underneath the deck here, we have the green flash. The impossible is possible. I love that. It's funny because this kind of, not this card, but a different deck came out with the same exact message in a different pile in this reading, but I won't say which one in case you picked it. All right, let's just get some final messages for my pile twos for the month of June. Okay, something about this just felt very, I'm going to keep both of these. We have here middle world. And then we have the tree of life. Again, with this like kind of same sort of message of grounding. Underneath the deck, we have the curse in reverse. So let me get the book and I'm going to read the paragraphs for these two cards here. All right, you guys. And so what it says here for middle world. Now, I feel like this was in reverse, but I don't know because it kind of ended like it kind of fell out like this. So I'm just going to read the reversal as well as the upright definition of this card. So give me a second. Actually, I'll turn it upright so you guys can see the card too as I'm reading it. All right, it says the middle world is a realm of day-to-day reality and the playground of the living. It is the present moment where everything is happening. Yet the middle world is created by the future, not only the past, and it is a mirror of the invisible realms. When things are right in the middle world, heaven and earth support everything. When they are not right, heaven and earth must be brought into order as well. It says here, the invitation, if this card was pulled upright, it says the middle world shows up when conditions are favorable to your undertaking. Do not hesitate, move forward as heaven and earth are smiling upon you. The time is right, so be expedient, but mindful of not being reckless. The world is your playground, and what would require great effort at any other time can be accomplished with ease right now. Yeah, I was talking about that. Like, some of you guys are born with these retrogrades in your chart, and this is just going to feel, this retrograde season, some other people may struggle with. For you guys, for my pile twos, it's just going to feel like, oh, this is right up my alley. Okay, so I'm going to read it for, I'm going to read it just in case it was in reverse. Maybe it's just two different piles here in this one pile where some of you, this card was meant to be in reverse and others of you it was meant to be upright. So use your intuition to see which one applies to you. So I'm going to read the paragraph for this card if it was pulled in reverse. The medicine for this card, if it's pulled in reverse, do not try to correct in the earth what needs to be corrected in the heavens. The resources to support the change or endeavor that you are considering are not readily available to you just yet. So it's important to ask for help from the invisible realms, from helpers in the upper world. For now, wait. You know what? That's funny because when I forget which card I was talking about. Was it the Magician? And I was talking about I'm seeing some help coming towards you guys in the form of a person. And for whatever reason, I felt like I needed to say, like, for some of you guys, you're not going to meet this person in June because Spirit, for whatever reason, is saying not right now. Now's not the time because each one of you guys are at different points in your respective journeys. But for some of you, it's like you will be meeting that person. You will be getting that help this month. There may be a couple of different piles here in this one pile, in pile two. But like I said, use your intuition to kind of see where you fit in the pile. And then we have here with the Tree of Life. And it says, the Tree of Life is a sacred symbol throughout the Americas. Its deep roots reach into the lower world, the unconscious, while its branches reach into the heavens, a source of destiny. To be whole in your life's journey, it is important to have deep roots and high branches. A tall tree with shallow roots falls in the first wind, but a tree with deep roots can weather any storm. The invitation, if this card is pulled upright, says to find health and balance in your life. Reflect on how you dance with your actions, your thoughts, and your feelings. If you are too much in your thinking head or in a world of fantasies and daydreaming, connect more with your roots and your physical body. If you are caught in mechanical doing and you are feeling stuck, not able to imagine a better life for yourself, open yourself to be inspired by the heavens. Let your roots and branches be aligned with your heart's longings. Oh, I love that. Okay, so pile two, this is all that I'm seeing. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, amazing spirit, for these messages. Hopefully you all will come back to visit sometime soon, but until next time, stay safe, healthy, blessed, have a beautiful and blessed June, and keep conquering the world. Bye, you guys. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. So we are going to be starting off with some oracle cards, and then I'm going to be checking out you guys' tarot cards. So these two cards all the way over here to the left will be showing me your first half of June, and these cards on the right will be showing me your last half of June. And then after reviewing your tarot cards, I'm also going to be pulling some additional oracle cards on camera just to see what your June 2021 has in store for you. So I hope you guys had a beautiful full moon eclipse. We are currently, there's a lot going on in June right now, astrologically. So we are currently in Pluto retrograde, and we have been from the end of April, around April 27th. Then around a week ago, Saturn went retrograde. In a couple of more days, Mercury will be going retrograde. By the 3rd week of June, Jupiter will be going retrograde, June 21st to be exact. And a few days later, June 26th, Neptune will be going retrograde. So right now we have Pluto and Saturn retrograde. Mercury is about to be retrograde. And by the end of June, Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, and Neptune, all 4 of those planets will be retrograde. So let's see. Have faith in your dreams and a new start is coming. Let me see if these are your cards because it kind of felt like they were. Let's see. Yep. All right, they are. So we got 2 cards for you. We've got a new start is coming and have faith in your dreams. So what I feel like have faith in your dreams is actually saying is that have faith in this new start. Some of you guys may feel like you are beyond redemption, or like a part of your life is beyond saving, or something in your life is beyond saving. Underneath the deck we have, look, nothing is yet set in stone. Mutable moon. This is exactly what I was just talking about. Some of you guys may feel as though something is beyond saving, but as you can see here, nothing is yet set in stone. So have faith that this new start is possible, and that a fresh new start is coming, and that nothing's permanent right now. Nothing is permanent, so don't feel like it is. Let me see what other energy you're kind of moving into June with. Sorry, you guys. The dog just went bananas. But yeah, so this is a timeless reading, and I kind of wasn't like, wow, bright new prospects are on the horizon. This is wild, because I think, or was I getting 2 cards? I don't remember. One of these I was only getting 1. Oh yeah, I was only getting 1 card here and 2 cards from this deck. Yeah, but I forgot what I was saying. Just gonna let that one go. But yeah, so bright new prospects are on the horizon, just like it says here, a new start is coming. And I'm gonna get 1 more card because that one kind of flipped over as I was shuffling. So I'm just gonna get 1 more for you guys, just to see the energy of June for my pile 3s. But it looks like you guys are just working with fresh energy. I feel like you guys may be working with fresh energy because you may have just made some sort of a decision recently. You may have made a decision during this, I keep shuffling, it's 2 cards. You may have made a decision during this full moon that we just had in Sagittarius. Okay, this card was flipped over and it says here, heirs seek a union of mind and spirit. Okay. And underneath the deck here we have the black cat. Your luck will soon change. So, all right. It just seems like you guys are just working with, the word that's coming to mind is explosive type energy, where it's almost like a powder keg. Like that's what I feel like your energy is in the month of June. You add anything to this cauldron and boom, shit happens and things happen. So it just kind of seems as though you guys have either made some sort of a decision to go in one direction, and this is like opening up the doors to a new chapter. But for the most part, it just seems like June is really wanting to remind my pile 3s to have faith that this next chapter is coming, that it is starting. So you guys may feel a little bit tired right now, but that's because things are on the horizon. It's very difficult to see something before it hits the horizon, right? I feel like you guys are kind of in the 11th hour of something, and there may be something kind of coming that's just over the horizon and you can't see it just yet. But something about June may give you some sort of evidence that something is coming or that things are happening, even if it doesn't seem like it. Things are happening. So just keep being a little bit patient. Just keep being patient, as patient as you can. So let me just get to your tarot cards, because I kind of want to see what's happening here. Oh, and then we have this air sign card right here, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. So some of you guys may have prominent like air energy in your chart, in your natal chart. So yeah, the very first card that we have here is the Empress in reverse. Okay. Some of you guys have been in a state of worry. And in June, it's going to be really important to try and keep yourself out of that state. That's going to be really important. The question that I'm getting with this Empress in reverse, and then I'll pull this card over here. The question that I'm getting here is, what are you not doing that you would love to do, pile 3? You're being advised to stop ignoring your wants. This isn't even about your needs, interestingly enough. This is all about your wants in June. In June, pile 3, you'll have certain chances to go and do this or go and see that, and you'll say no because you have to work or you have to take care of this responsibility or that responsibility. The advice that I'm hearing for you is work is always going to be there. These responsibilities are not going anywhere. So take breaks in June, pile 3. Really crucial for you to take breaks and do things that you want to do the first half of June. I feel like the reason that you guys may be getting a little bit impatient is because of the fact that you're not... The reason that you're getting impatient for this new start and you're feeling like you're running out of hope that it's ever going to happen is because you're not taking care of yourself. All you're doing for very many of you in pile 3, all you're doing is waking up, tending to your responsibilities and your roles and your jobs all day, and then not giving to yourself. So you're giving to everything else except for yourself, and it's depleting you, it's exhausting you. And so it's making you want to rush the process, and it's making you more impatient and saying, well, when is my break going to come? Your break is you. You are your own break. You have to start asserting that though. You know? That's something that's coming through right now. Then we have here the next card, 2 of Swords in reverse. Okay, so that's kind of the first message that I was picking up when I was looking at just your oracle cards here, was some of you may have recently made some sort of a decision. But yeah, first message coming through, some of you guys just recently made a decision. Second message coming through is there's some of you guys being pulled in 2 different directions. One direction is like your fun, relaxation, and leisure time, and the other direction is work, school, responsibilities. This is not about disregarding your responsibilities and putting you in a position where, you know, you have to like pull an all-nighter because you went out the night before and just let your hair down. Like, don't do that. But this is about acknowledging that work will always be there, so will school and everything else that you're responsible for completing to the best of your abilities. But what isn't always going to be there, the things that do waver and are not guaranteed, is your rest, your peace of mind, your joy and your happiness, your contentment. These are the things that falter and ebb and flow. So they need maintenance as well. Really important not to think like, oh, I'll sleep in tomorrow, or I'll work out tomorrow. I'll eat healthy tomorrow because right now I've got to do this, or I'm on a deadline. You're always going to be on a deadline, right? You technically will always have something trying to claim, fight, and vie for your time. So put down work for a few hours and go get your massage, go get a facial, or your nails done, or your hair done, or buy that outfit, go fishing, or paint a picture, go run a bath, play some relaxing music, maybe take off from work for a day or 2 if you can this month, especially in the first 2 weeks, because it's like you're feeling stretched between yourself and your responsibilities first half of June, and a part of you can sense that you are neglecting yourself or your health, but you're doing it in the hopes of being able to get done with work or school so then you can relax, so then I can take time off, so then I can get my rest. And it's like, no, because there's going to be another assignment that you have to do where you're going to keep pushing off your rest and relaxation and leisure time and fun and playtime. My pile 3, some of you guys might literally have to start scheduling like recess. Some of you guys might literally have to start scheduling or penciling in your sleeping schedule. Like, you guys might have to literally start scheduling breaks for yourself. And someone from your spiritual team keeps saying to me, but you'll never be done. Even when you're done, there's a new assignment, right, that pops up shortly after, or a new responsibility that arises to take place of the old one. So it's important for you to start making time for yourself. You know how they say, like, when you get paid, to pay yourself first? Pay yourself first when it comes to your time as well, pile 3. Now it's important that I also say there's a flip side here, and that's clear with your cards being in reverse. So there's also a feeling or a thought of you wondering, well, how far should I push myself? You guys are still trying to find that sweet balance between work and play. Someone here may have someone staying with you for the time being, and something about that makes you feel congested in your own space, or like claustrophobic in your own home, like you can't be yourself in your own home because you were trying to be considerate by not playing music too loud, or maybe hogging the TV too much. You're making allowances for someone else possibly, and you need to also do that for yourself. So if making someone else uncomfortable means you feeling uncomfortable, then something's got to give. So try to find that balance, okay? Next card that we have here, look, we got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Queen of Pentacles is like the cousin to the Empress card, and they have very similar energy, being very grounded and very connected to the earth and earth energy and to their own bodies. And then the next card that we have, oh no, it's the 8. Yeah, we've got the 8 of Pentacles here. Queen of Pentacles in reverse and the 8 of Pentacles upright. So some of you have been working extra hard because you're trying to save money or get yourself out of a certain situation. You've been pushing yourself because of the uncomfortable environment that you've been in. There's this overshadowing feeling that if I don't work hard enough, I'll have to keep dealing with this. Queen of Pentacles in reverse says that you are forgetting your real power. Your true power is not in working yourself to the bone, but it is in you. You are the quality, right? And you put better quality work out there when you are well rested. You keep getting told to rest and relax, or you keep feeling the guilt of not resting enough because your spiritual team is trying to say the more you rest, the more that you'll manifest and the better quality that you'll bring into your life. So it's not about working yourself silly. It's about the quality of work that you are able to put in when you are well rested. This Eight of Pentacles is kind of like you weaving together a different life, or a better life, I should say. But when you are overworking yourself, you're not able to give your all to every pentacle that you're working on. There's certain things, crucial things that you may miss when you're tired just because you were trying to meet a deadline. So please rest, pile 3, because your rest is directly influencing the pentacles here that are supporting you. And some of you are struggling with feeling good about yourself. That also plays into how much rest you're getting, how much time you're taking off, how much of your day. I really want you to I really want my pile 3s, if this is something that is happening in your life and resonating with you, I really want you guys to sit down after you're done with work, like after you're done with your day and you're in bed or something, sit down and write down how many hours of day went to this responsibility and that job and that responsibility over there. And then I want you to write down how much time you had to yourself. How much time did you have to yourself to do what you wanted or needed to do that day? Put it on paper so you can actually see whoa, I'm kind of neglecting myself here. I kind of deserve this time off, or I deserve some time to myself, more time to myself, if you can take it. I remember Dave Chappelle said it one time, and he was so damn right when he said it. He was like, so I decided to take some time off from my career because I could actually afford it. You know, it was a joke, but it was like, that's the truth. It's like, it is a luxury to be able to take time off. It's incredible how it also costs time and money for us to take time off and to take care of ourselves, but it's worth it. You are worth it. You are your most valuable asset. You have both the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles here. You are your most valuable asset. Instead of putting all this work into other things, make sure that you're also putting in some work to yourself when it comes to yourself, instead of being so torn between either which way. So let's see which goddess is over my pile. Let me shuffle these because these cards are new and they're sticking together bad. Let's see what goddess has some advice for you guys. All right, let's see. Very first one that we have is here: resilience, obstacles, and preparation. No, obstacles are preparation for greater accomplishment. Okay, so you guys have Hera over your month in the month of June. Kind of watching you guys. And if you're not exactly sure who these goddesses are that come up in your reading, then do a little bit of research on them in your free time when you have some. Because once you kind of do a little bit of research, you may kind of be like, you know what, I have a lot in common with that goddess. And then we have here Aphrodite, feminine power. I embrace my sensuality and deepen my inner love. I seek the beauty in everything. Isn't that funny? We have the goddess of feminine power coming through. You guys also have the Empress as well as the Queen of Pentacles. So this is really about taking care of yourself. So I feel like some of my pile 3s haven't been doing it. Underneath the deck, we have here Isis Awakening. My journey is an evolution of many lessons and renewals. I am expanding. Okay. So you guys see how kind of funny this is between both of these goddesses. You have one goddess that's just all about feminine power and beauty and love and sensuality. And then you have a goddess over here that's all about resilience. So, and I feel like that's the theme that kept coming up in your reading, is sort of being, with this Two of Swords right here, being split down the middle between how much resilience, how much do I push forward, how much do I keep sort of dedicating to my job and my responsibilities, and how much do I give to myself. And you have two goddesses here, one that is talking about resilience and the things and the obstacles that are preparing you for greater accomplishments, and the goddess over here that is all about just like beauty and love and feminine power and sensuality and relaxing and taking care of yourself and pampering yourself and spoiling yourself. So what I'm really feeling like for you guys is that it's really important for you all to find a balance, because right now, very clearly with this Two of Swords in reverse, you're not balanced between your Empress energy right now and your Queen of Pentacles energy. Queen of Pentacles, she knows how to be the Empress as well as she knows how to put in the work. The Suit of Pentacles in the tarot is all about putting in that work, labor. This is physical work. This is tangible work. This is using your hands. This is getting dirty. This is getting in the mud, into the earth. This is getting your hands and feet dirty. It's all about putting in that work, but at the same time, the Queen of Pentacles, she puts in enough work where she also knows how to get her work to a place where it sustains her and where it supports her. So she doesn't have to keep exerting herself. So she can also rely on the work that she's done, that really good quality work that we were talking about, while also at the same time, relaxing. Also at the same time, giving to herself with this Empress energy right here. So the Queen of Pentacles, she really does embody both. She embodies hard work, and she embodies a lot of that feminine power and energy that you guys are you're a little bit disconnected from right now. But that's okay, because I feel like you guys are in the month of June. This is going, or whenever it is that you're seeing this, because this is timeless. I feel like that's going to sort of be your theme a little bit, is learning how to balance that a little bit better. And then we have here, wisdom is found in truth. That's, yeah. It's like the pearl of truth. So I've kind of mentioned this earlier, that I feel like you guys have an idea that maybe you need a little bit more rest or a little more time to yourself. I feel like this wisdom is found in truth is saying that for the month of June, my pile threes, you guys may be receiving downloads. It may be your time to receive some downloads or some information, some news, some answers, some sort of clarity, some sort of wisdom or knowledge. And if you are exhausted, it's not going to be as easy to hear. Two of Swords in reverse right here. It won't be as easy to receive. It won't be as easy to hear. We also have the card of air. Air represents communication as well. Look at what flipped over. Find balance. And we already talked about that. We know exactly what that is. Underneath the deck here, we have low tide, step back and take a break. See, disconnect to reconnect. Yeah, you guys just need to take a little bit of a break. You guys, this is all about finding balance this month. And I believe that you guys are going to receive like a lot of communication, and there may be even better communication in your relationships because you're more rested. So a lot of the answer to my pile threes issues in the month of June is rest, just taking some time off and slowing down a bit. Okay, let's see. Final message for my pile threes is we have here soul retrieval. So I'm just going to read out of the book what this card is. And underneath the deck here, we have Wild the Woman. Okay, and so it says here about soul retrieval. Soul retrieval is a practice that helps you recover a part of yourself, your energy, your enthusiasm, or your innocence that you have lost. At first, we'll use soul retrieval to recover from our hurts and heal our childhood wounds. Later, we learn to journey to recover our original nature, that self that never left the Garden of Eden, who still speaks to the rivers, to the trees, and to God. When we return to Eden, we are whole again. It says you are no longer fragmented. You are one with creation. You have healed the cause of the pain that you feel, so you do not need to dwell on it any longer. Really, it's true. If you are still hovering over an old wound, find a new flight path. Don't be distracted with the little stuff you've already mastered. Go for the big one, the journey back to Eden. A new start is coming. That's what that means right there. And have faith in your dreams. Bright new prospects are on the horizon. Serendipity is coming. So these are the things that are coming to you, especially when you start to invite in a little more balance. Your life is going to feel like you're living a better quality life when you find more balance between responsibilities and yourself. okay? Because, you know, responsibilities are natural, they're natural to have, but you yourself are also a responsibility. And so it's important to tend to that. Really, really important in the month of June, especially pile 3, okay? So I feel like this is a really important lesson for you guys to learn, because like it says, a new start is coming. New moon, and have faith in your dreams. Oh yeah, and for this new moon card to come out, you guys, the new moon is happening in Gemini. I believe June 10th is the date. It'll vary by a day depending on where you live in the world. But with that new moon, make sure that you guys, pile 3, write down exactly what it is that you want. Write down exactly what it is that you want, and then just sort of focus on that. And for you guys, pile 3, I would focus on your intentions, maybe not even in like writing them and doing some sort of like elaborate ritual unless you really want to, but maybe doing something relaxing where maybe you're just like sitting in a bathtub, you know, with some bubbles and drinking a glass of wine or something. I don't know. And you're just sort of imagining your intentions, kind of more so getting into your body, because I feel like that's going to be the way that you manifest in the month of June, is by kind of relaxing more so instead of always kind of doing something like with this 8 of Pentacles. So I feel like that's going to be the best way for my pile 3s to manifest and to really start seeing results in the month of June. But pile 3, this is all that I'm seeing. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, amazing spirit, for these messages. Hopefully you all come back to visit sometime soon. But until next time, stay safe, healthy, blessed. Have a beautiful June and keep conquering the world. Bye, you guys. All right, pile number 4, welcome to your reading. So we are starting off with some oracle cards, and then I'm going to be checking out these 4 tarot cards here. So these first 2 tarot cards represent the first 2 weeks of the month of June, and these 2 tarot cards over here to the right will represent the final 2 weeks of the month of June. And then after I take a look at your tarot cards, then we'll be moving on to some additional oracle cards I'll be pulling on camera, just to see in total what your June 2021 may have in store for you. So let's get started. Let me find my cards. All right, so let's just get started. So pile 4, I pray that you guys had a beautiful I keep calling it the damn solar. I pray that you guys had a beautiful lunar eclipse with the full moon in Sagittarius that we just had. We do have a lot going on astrologically in the month of June. So we are already currently in Pluto retrograde. We have been ever since around April 27th. May 23rd, Saturn went retrograde. And in a couple of days here, Mercury will officially station retrograde on May 30th. And then around the 3rd week of June, we'll have Jupiter stationing retrograde, as well as a few days after that, June 26th, Neptune will be going retrograde. So right now, in total, Pluto, Saturn are retrograde and Mercury is about to be. And by the end of June, Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, and Neptune will all be retrograde. So definitely look out for that. And retrograde energy just kind of means that the planets are moving differently. They're just behaving differently than usual. So it doesn't mean that they're not working or that they're going to, mess your life up. It just means that their energy is just working differently. Kind of like how we are when we're tired or exhausted and we're just not like our upbeat self, or maybe like we're not as chipper, maybe we're not as talkative. It's kind of like that. So their personality kind of almost changes a little bit, or their frequency does, I should say. I guess, which does kind of translate as a personality. So yeah, let's see the energy that you're moving into June with. So we have here, step out of your comfort zone, North Node. Okay, and then underneath the deck, we have nothing will come of the situation, void of course, Moon. All right. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. So we'll have to take a look at your tarot cards. I actually wasn't going to do a 4th pile, and then I was like, it just didn't feel right to only do 3 piles for this month. So I was like, I have to do this. Okay. All right. So step out of your comfort zone. Step out of your comfort zone. Along with nothing will come of this situation. So maybe step out of your comfort zone means stop giving to a situation that's sort of been finalized, maybe. This could be like, and then we have here, a temptation may lead you astray. This is really, really interesting, the way that your cards are kind of falling together. Step out of your comfort zone. A temptation may lead you astray. Nothing will come of the situation. feel like with you guys, this is odd. I feel like with you guys, I almost have to... I feel like I don't want to say too much just yet, because your cards are very ambiguous right now. And then it's like, you're probably the pile that I've been shuffling the longest for. So I find that interesting. Then we have here the Sun. Your perseverance is rewarded. Underneath the deck, we have be meticulous and patient. What does that say? Because this is kind of sticking out. It says fate has blocked this path for you. I'm going to keep that. And then, wow, look at what was also sticking out. A new relationship blossoms. I'm going to keep these out. Normally I haven't. Normally well, no, actually no other piles cards came out like this. So I'm going to keep these out because I feel like the cards are even kind of contradicting themselves. And then it says be meticulous and patient. So this could be a relationship that's sort of being talked about right now. With a new relationship blossoms, I mean, that's kind of clear cut and dry. But we have fate has blocked this path for you, but as well as we also have your perseverance is rewarded. So I'm wondering if with these cards right here, if the effort is worth it. With the cards, it's almost like the cards are contradicting themselves, saying that your perseverance is rewarded. So if you keep pushing along anyways, even though fate has blocked this path for you, you'll be rewarded. But then there's also the card saying a temptation may lead you astray. So you may divert from your own path. And if you were to keep going, then your perseverance is rewarded, even though the path has been blocked. And then it says step out of your comfort zone. I got to look at your tarot cards because there could be like maybe 2 or 3 different messages in one pile. It could be like 2 or 3 different piles in this one pile right here. And that could be why. So I'm going to look at your tarot cards and see if things kind of start to come together a little bit more. So very first card that we have here is the Fool. Oh. Okay, I'm going to sit with this card for a second. First week of June with this Fool card, there's this feeling of being on cloud 9, right? Like nothing can go wrong or stop you or bring you down. Prime time for manifesting. Let me say that when we are in this type of frequency, it's a great idea to take advantage of it. But this could be okay. I keep hearing the song for some reason, Love Fool by the Cardigans. I don't know if you guys know that song. I don't know why I'm hearing Love Fool by the Cardigans, but yeah, maybe you just heard that song randomly somewhere, or maybe you were just playing it, or this could be a message that some of you have started a relationship, and the first week of June may mark the beginning of it, because something about this Fool card feels very dreamy, Neptune-like energy, just like kind of head in the clouds, you know? And it could be some really great news coming in the first week of June that makes you feel good. It could be attention that you get from someone. It just feels very, okay. Fate is blocked. Okay. Now I'm starting to get this. There is going to be a bit of a divergence with your path in the month of June. The month of June is going to seem like it's going like straight, and then all of a sudden skirt, you know, and you're going to like go all the way to the right or all the way to the left. You guys may have just started a new relationship. And like I said, this could be some good news coming in the first week of June that makes you feel good. It could be attention that you get from someone. It just feels very early, like the early stages where you don't know how or where this will end up, but you're just enjoying the ride for the moment. So first week of June will feel like that for many of my pile 4s. I have to say this, pile 4, this may only be for like 1 or 2 of you. I have to say this. If you are sort of in a friends with benefits kind of like situation, try not to get your emotions involved. Try to keep it purely physical at all costs, especially in the month of June. Like enjoy it, have fun with it, don't take it too seriously. Don't take it more serious than what it actually is. But the interesting thing about the Fool is the Fool never feels absolute. So let me see. You're the only pile that I've had to pull clarifiers for. This is very interesting. I kind of like when these readings sort of just throw me for a loop. Okay, so Yeah. There's always like a subtle undercurrent being brewed with the Fool because he has no clue what he's gotten himself into. And so by the end of the journey, when he looks back, he sees how it all made sense. But there's a lack of the whole picture being available right now. Yeah, look at that. The moon. Yeah, you have no clue what's actually happening. No clue what's actually happening. The moon is a card of instincts, premonition. The moon represents, you know, we can only see the moon when it's dark, right? When it's nighttime. And when the lights are out, when we can't see, we can still hear things, we can still sense things, we can still feel things and smell things, but us not being able to visually see, us not being able to have that clarity of sight, it can make us feel like we know what's going on because we can hear and we can also sense and smell. All of our other senses are active besides our eyes. So it's like we can kind of start to develop a picture in our mind of what's happening, but because we can't see it, the moon represents the card of like premonition. You're aware with other senses besides your visuals. So it's like you're aware, but there's not a lot of clarity of what it is that you're exactly aware of. There's not a lot of clarity about exactly what's going on. It's like there's all these things that are going on in the dark right now for you, or in the month of June, where you may think that you have an idea of what's going on, but that's not exactly what's going on. And so I'm starting to understand why that kind of message came through, that especially if you guys are dealing with like a friends with benefits type situation, be very, very careful about assuming that you know how it's going to turn out or how it's going to end. 9 of Pentacles. Some of you just kind of need to only focus on yourself and stop trying to analyze another person or another situation. You need to maybe turn more of the focus in on yourself, which I know can be kind of hard, especially when you're in like the throes of a brand new relationship. Brand new relationships are so fun, right? And so it's like, yeah, for sure. Okay, for sure. Just be careful about taking it more serious than what it is. We have here 10 of Cups in reverse. Some of you guys are just very relationship oriented in the month of June. You're just thinking all about this new person, maybe even dreaming about this new person. 2 of Pentacles in reverse. That came out. The 10 of Swords also came out with it, but it was flipped over, so I don't believe that that's your card. Let me see. Let me see what you can't see. Let me see if I can get a clarifier on what you cannot see. Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles flipped out. Let's see. What does pile 4 not see about this situation? It's 2 cards. I'm going to keep shuffling. What does pile 4 not see about the situation? Let me see if the cards will tell me. Sometimes when readings are kind of ambiguous like this, it's for a reason and they don't want to be exposed. So I'm just going to see if I can see. Look, 2 of Cups, I mean. There's just this is a very relationship oriented. Okay, 7 of Swords in reverse. Pile 4, what I feel like you kind of can't see here is what someone's actually offering you. 3 of Swords. Okay. What I feel like you can't necessarily see here, pile 4, is what's actually being offered to you when it comes to whatever this may be. For very many of you that have intuitively selected this pile, it has something to do with a relationship. Could be a friendship, doesn't have to be romantic. It could even be family, it does not have to be romantic. But whatever this is, whatever someone has offered you, it could be like an olive branch that someone's offered you. It could be an apology. There's something about it that you're not seeing. There's some sort of truth about it that is kind of hidden. It's kind of hidden. And if things seem to start out really great with this person in the beginning of June, but by the end of June, things seem to have taken some sort of a turn, it's for a very good reason. And then we have here the 7 of Swords came out in reverse, and it says a temptation may lead you astray. We also have the 3 of Swords. If things change by the end of June, it's for you. It's a good sign for you because something is trying to protect you. Something is trying to keep you from going any further down a certain pathway. So let me see. Let's see what your next card is. Look. This is what you're trying to be saved from. This is what the universe or spirit is trying to save you from. This Ten of Wands feeling like you're doing everything on your own, feeling like you're carrying something so heavy. Do not fight the current, pile 4. Yeah, there's some baggage here or some sort of responsibility in fine print that you have to read between the lines to see. So you may have just met someone like we have been talking about. And like, okay, let's just say, for example, you just met someone and you guys really hit it off. But then you find out like, damn, they're in the military, which means they travel a lot. And that means that this is going to be a long distance relationship. So it's like, even though there's this really great thing that just happened, it comes with this extra piece of baggage that you did not account for. And that may shock you a little. It's not even that it shocks you, but it slows you down from this full pace to the Ten of Wands. It just slows you down a little bit because now you know all the information that comes along with this. Things may feel a bit heavier and it may feel like you want to slow things down and think before you go any further. Like I said, this could be a relationship, job, lifestyle, routine, anything. For most of you, this is going to be a relationship though, for absolute sure. And like I said with this Nine of Pentacles over here, something is trying to tell you to more so focus on yourself. Like, don't lose yourself in this. That's what is like keeps coming through. Like, don't lose yourself in this. Don't count your eggs before they hatch. Is that the saying? Like, don't get too in your head about this situation and start planning for a future before you even know where this is going. Because like I said, the Fool, he's just enjoying the ride for the moment. You know, he's not planning ahead. The Fool energy is meant to be enjoyed in the moment. For those of you guys that are subscribed to the Patreon, to my Patreon account, where we've spoken about the Fool already, you guys already know what I'm talking about. We spoke about him in a lot of depth. We talked about how one of the biggest things that is going down when we see the Fool is this unawareness. He's very naive. He's just kind of living in the moment. He has zero plans for the future. And so that almost makes the Fool a caution to himself and to other people around him because he has zero intentions of where things are going. So this could be you that doesn't have intentions for this relationship and where it's going, or it could be this other person, or the both of you could have mismatched intentions for each other. You know what I mean? And that kind of makes it feel as though you're trying to push this relationship along by yourself without any sort of support from this other person. You know, we got the Two of Pentacles in reverse over here. And then we look at the next card. We got the Hangman. Okay. Yeah, let me just see the next card. Then we've got the Eight of Cups. Okay. So by the end of June, things may change a little bit for you, pile 4, with this particular situation or person, relationship, whatever it may be. Things may take a little bit of a turn. Not like tragic or anything like that, but just in the sense that it definitely June doesn't end how it started, you know, or this situation doesn't end how it started. And so there's a complete reversal of how things started out or from how you first saw this. Things don't look or feel the same anymore when we deal with the Hanged Man. There's, as you can see on the Hanged Man card right here, as you can see, he has this halo around his head because he is realizing it took him being inverted and suspended for him to see things clearly. It's like he's seeing things for the first time. And it took all of this effort. It took him having to be hung upside down in this uncomfortable ass position for him to finally see things straight. And so there may be temptation. June will present some options to you where you are asked if someone or something is worth the effort. I did mention the word effort when I was looking at your oracle cards. I sure did. I forgot about that. Okay, starting to make sense. There may be a little bit of temptation to walk away because of how heavy something feels or gets. And this could also be, for example, you and someone have a conversation and afterwards it seems like things will finally improve. And then there's a quick turnaround where things revert back to how they used to be. So this could be a brand new situation or relationship or an old one. But either way, it seems like in June, you may start to wonder if continuing on is worth it or if it's a better idea to walk away with this Eight of Cups right here. I need to also caution some of you guys not to like sign anything, not to sign a lease, not to make a big purchase without experiencing it in person. Like, don't sign a lease on an apartment. Like, let's say you're moving to a different city, right? Don't sign a lease on an apartment without actually stepping foot in that apartment and in that area. Let's say you want to buy a new car, right? Just because like you're saying like I just want this car looks really cool, don't buy it without taking it for a test drive. Pile 4 June is this cautionary tale saying to you, do not buy into this without taking whatever this is for a test drive. This is really important because in the month of June, whatever the situation is, it's kind of pushing you towards the north node of this situation where things are going to come to some sort of culmination. Things are going to go down in some sort of way by the end of June. That's going to make things very clear as to where you guys stand. And with the 7 of Swords right here in reverse, there's something that hasn't necessarily been, I guess the word would be revealed, that will be by the end of June. And that's why this is in reverse. If this was upright, I would say there's a chance that you might not find out whatever this may be by the end of June. But there is something, and a lot of people say that this card is the card of like cheating or infidelity. And, I'm not going to say that that's what it is because I can't be sure of that. Being that this is a general reading, there's a lot of different energies and messages here. But what I can see is some sort of like disappointment with this 3 of Swords right here and the 2 of Cups with the 7 of Swords. And so it's like whatever this offer was, you were so excited about it in the beginning. It came through as just like this beautiful opportunity or this beautiful, time for you. And then it's like, as you get further and further into it, it's like, oh, wait, hold on. You bought this apartment, like you signed the lease online, right? You applied for this apartment, you got it, you signed it online, and you move in and you realize, damn, the walls are thin as hell. The maintenance sucks. The neighbors are rude. It's like you're having all these realizations later on. And that's what I'm seeing with this 3 of Swords and the 7 of Swords. So I'm not going to say that this is like a cheating situation because this is honestly what it's saying is that this is a perception situation. This is an illusion sort of issue where you're not seeing things as clearly. But you will by the end of June. And it's not your fault that you're not seeing things as clearly. You just simply don't know. They say hindsight is 20/20, and I used to be one of those people that kind of hated that. I like to know everything that's going on around me, but it's like that's just life. And very many times in very many situations, we're not going to know until after the fact. So, don't judge yourself for not knowing. Like, don't judge yourself if you do sign that lease or if you already did and you move in and then you realize like you hate the place. It's not your fault, So, but I just will caution you guys to be a little bit more slow because like I said, some sort of information comes in and it slows you down from this Fool pace to this 10 of Wands pace. And then you start seeing things way differently when you slow down. And then for some of you seeing things differently is going to... So there may be something that you end up finding out that makes you change your mind. Because that's what this kind of feels like. This doesn't feel like the ending of something. It just feels like you changing your mind. So I'm actually going to go out on a limb here and say that my pile 4s, you guys didn't get that far into this situation, whatever it is, because it looks like you guys have a easy opportunity to just sort of leave. So a temptation may lead you astray is actually, the temptation is leaving. The temptation is getting the hell out of Dodge because it's like, this is a lot more than what I signed up for. And it says fate has blocked this path for you. So there's a hindrance in the way for a reason. Whatever this 10 of Wands is, or this 7 of Swords, this 3 of Swords, this Moon card energy, this 2 of Pentacles in reverse, whatever that is, it is for a reason. Fate did that to help you and protect you and to keep you from getting further into something before you couldn't get out of it. And so I believe that's what your perseverance is rewarded as saying, is that you're not going to let this stop you. You're still going to keep moving forward. Like let's just say that person that you met, you find out that they're in the military, going back to that example. And so you're like, oh, I don't really do long distance relationships. And so it's like, that doesn't mean give up on love and relationships entirely. It just means maybe that this wasn't the right time for you and that person to be together. Maybe that wasn't the right person in general. The fact that this situation exactly kind of changed, or you changed your mind about the situation, it's still not stopping you at the same time. You have Fool card energy here. Fool card energy is he is full of perseverance. He's just not aware of it. He doesn't let anything stop him. He's about to walk off a cliff. Nothing's going to stop him. he could probably fall off that cliff and he'd still keep walking. I feel that energy behind you guys where it's like, well, just because I changed my mind with this or just because that didn't work out doesn't mean I'm going to stop. Just because I changed my mind about buying that car or getting that place or dating that person or whatever it is doesn't mean I'm going to stop. If anything, I believe that this little situation, this experience helped you break out of your comfort zone. Some of you were kind of maybe stuck in your comfort zone, and this sort of helped you break out of that because there was something intriguing here that made you curious and it made you go like, well, let me try it out. And once you started trying it out, you're like, I don't really want this anymore. And so you guys are really in a beautiful position where it's like you get to test drive it. You get to see how you like it. And then if you don't, you get to get out of there and find something else that is better suited for you. So this is actually a really beautiful position that you guys are in the month of June. I'm going to put these away, these clarifiers. And then we're going to pull some other oracle cards for you guys. All right, pile 4. Let's see what two goddesses have a message for you in the month of June. Okay, this one fell out. And so we have, I don't know, Kamru Sepa, I guess. Oh, it's the goddess of release. I dissolve negative and self-limiting beliefs from my body, mind, and spirit. So yeah, you guys may definitely be getting out of releasing something by the end of June. Could be. As well as too with the step out of your comfort zone card. That may be, like I said, that this situation may have come, even though the situation seems to be temporary in the month of June, I think it honestly came to get a lot of my pile 4s out of some sort of rut. You know, and it says here, I dissolve negative and self-limiting beliefs from my body, mind, and spirit. And I just feel like, okay, so I believe that she and this one wanted to come out for you. And it says here, Persephone, dark and light, harmony exists only with contrast. That's so true. That is so true. That's deep. Harmony exists only with conflict or contrast, which I guess is the same thing. It only exists with opposition. And then we have here Meve, the goddess of power. Be in awe of yourself and the strength that has taken you to get to here and now. Oh, I love that. And then underneath the deck here we have, I don't know, but it's the goddess of untangling. And it says, I am patient with myself in the process of exploring the labyrinth of my mind. So you're going to be led into a more harmonious situation. But I think that you guys, my pile 4s, kind of needed this temporary situation to better see what you actually maybe want and need in your life. Because something about this temporary situation is actually going to show you and teach you a lot. It's gonna help you even step out of your comfort zone, help you step into more power. It's going to help you actually come into a new relationship that blossoms. It's going to help you actually fall into, you know, true love if you're looking for romance. I pulled the 2 of cups for you as the clarifiers. And so it's like, and your perseverance will be rewarded. And so it's like, yeah, you know, you're going to get everything that you want and need, but it's like you kind of needed this to happen. You kind of needed to see this. So maybe it might be so you would slow down a little bit. Because like I said, we're moving into retrograde season. We're going to have 4 planets retrograde by the end of June. And so that is definitely the time for reflection. It's definitely the time to slow down. Not for everyone. I don't like giving blanket advice or guidance when it comes to astrology in general, because it's so different for everyone. It manifests differently for everyone. So for some people, retrograde seasons and retrograde planets, it comes to slow some people down. For other people, retrograde planets and retrograde seasons come to propel people forward like 1,000,000 miles an hour. And it's interesting how that'll happen. Like, I mean, just look at 2020 with the pandemic. It sat a lot of people down, but there was a lot of people as well where they got to maybe leave their job and get into their passion and create that business that they've always wanted to do. Maybe there was a lot of people that got to do things that they had always wanted to do that they never had the time to do. So while it's like it slowed down a certain part of people's lives, it kind of got other parts going, you know? So let's see, let's get some advice for your month. Okay. And it says here, your future is being rewritten. See, a time for deep healing. Yeah, so you guys are definitely, the path is being diverted. The path is being diverted. But this is a really good thing. It's a really good thing. This is actually great news. I have the storm amidst the chaos, find your center. Yeah, so it may seem a little chaotic how things kind of pan out. Try not to get overwhelmed with this because, like I said, this is actually coming to, it's going to seem like you guys are getting diverted. But honestly, you guys are like going back to that example. Let's say you find out that that person you really liked was in the military and it's like, no, I don't want to do it. You know what's going to end up happening? It's like it's going to end up leading you to like the love of your life, or it's going to end up leading you guys back together. Either way, however things are supposed to pan out, they will pan out. June is going to seem like it's kind of diverting you away from how things are supposed to end up, but it's not. It's actually just a detour in a sense. Let's see, underneath the deck here we have rainbow. A miracle or epiphany is in the forecast. Yeah, it's a huge realization. It's a huge realization where you guys just realize like, wait, hold on. This isn't what I wanted. Or this isn't what I signed up for. This is what I asked for. This has extra baggage. And you being aware of that extra baggage is going to kind of save you from getting in a situation that is just too chaotic for you. So let's see. Let's get a final message here. Okay, so we have the owl in reverse. I'm going to get one more card since it just flipped over in the deck while I was shuffling. Yeah, I like when they jump out. Okay, let's see. And then we have here the serpent in reverse. So I'm going to read both of these paragraphs out of the book. So give me a second. Oh yeah, and underneath the deck here we have the ghost dance. All right, and it says here about the owl. It says the owl is a master of the night. She can see situations with perfect clarity, more so when it is dark, and is able to discern truth when others are sightless. And remember we pulled the moon card and I was kind of talking about that. And so it says here she helps you find your light and your lightness in the darkest moments of your life, and to embrace the night as your ally. So that moon card actually came as your ally. The fact that you can't see what's going on, we were talking about a few minutes ago, the fact that you can't see what's going on because when the moon comes out, it's pitch black, it's dark. All we can do is hear and smell and sense and feel, but we can't see. So that's actually an ally for you. The fact that your eyes are being closed. So another thing that's kind of coming through with that is some of you, your eyes are going to get closed from this situation because it's you're visually attracted to it. And it's like the visuals may be overpowering the reality of the situation. So with your eyes closed, without you being able to see, it's like, okay, I'm not just going after this because it's attractive. I need to know what is the essence of this situation. I need to know what is the actual energy and the frequency of the situation. Does this truly align with me, or am I just attracted to it? You know, am I just attracted to it for the moment like the Fool? But what do I truly want for the future in the long run? Okay, and then it says, the owl can bring you messages from the invisible world. She opens your ears so that you may hear the voices of the ancestors and you may acquire their wisdom and make it your own. So make sure that you guys, if you hear anything just randomly, make sure that you guys kind of write that down throughout the month of June because it's your ancestors talking to you. Oh, I did hear that song too. Loveful by the Cardigans while I was doing your reading. Okay. So because you pulled this card in reverse, it says here the medicine, owl guards against self-deception. Oh, so that Seven of Swords was you guys. Okay. And it says owls guards against self-deception and insists that your motives be pure and transparent to all. What is the message that you are not hearing? The situation that you are not seeing with clarity? This is exactly what we talked about. It says owl invites you to wait patiently, bide your time until it is right to act, then do so decisively with no hesitation or remorse. This is exactly what we were talking about, your whole reading. Your whole reading. It says bide your time until it is right to act. Until you get all the information and you see like, oh, this came with extra baggage, then you get the hell out of Dodge, you know? And then it says here, then do so decisively with no hesitation or remorse. So make sure that when you walk away, you make a really clean break. You make a clean cut. Don't leave anything lingering. Don't leave any doors open. Make sure you make a clean cut in the month of June. That is your advice. And let me see, I'm going to also read this other card over here. All right. And it says, the serpent is the life force of Mother Earth. The coiled serpent of the Kundalini brings passion, healing, and renewal. She offers us the fruit of the tree of knowledge in the Garden of Eden and reminds us to shed the past the way she sheds her tired old skin. Serpent comes to offer you the forbidden fruit that will set your passion and creativity free. Because you pulled this card in reverse, the medicine here is when you shed the past gracefully, life will not strip it away with great drama. Indeed, that is something that you want to avoid. See, that is what you're being... That's why you're being blocked, so you can avoid some sort of drama. And it says, do not use your energies to seduce others or allow yourself to be seduced even by your own ideas. Interesting how they use that word seduce when it says right here, temptation may lead you astray. Your reading started off so weird and confusing for me, and then it just like got tied together so clean and neatly and beautifully. It really makes sense now. Hopefully it did for you guys. If it didn't, sometimes you're just not able to see it or ready to see it. But you know, if it's meant for you, it'll make sense by the end of June. And you know, you guys don't worry about this diversion, because like I said, you're not being diverted in the sense that it's saying like, this isn't possible for you, this can't happen for you. It's just in the sense that it's like, this will happen for you, this just isn't the right person, this isn't the right place, this isn't the right time, you know. So it's like, you're not getting a no, you're just getting a not right now, or not with this person, or not with this situation. So just remember that in the month of June, because this is actually really going to sort of save you. But honestly, I don't see you guys being torn up about this. I see you guys honestly being a little bit more like, I didn't sign up for this, let me get my ass up out of here. So yeah, it really looks like this is a beautiful position to be in for the month of June, where you really get to make a decision of which direction do you want to take at this crossroads right here. So yeah, this is all that I'm seeing for my pile fours. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, amazing spirit, for these messages. Hopefully you all come back to visit sometime soon. But until next time, please stay safe, healthy, blessed, and keep conquering the world.